doing?
I totally messed you up.
You're interrupting progress. Let's start over. So today I am cleaning out the freezers, which is a horrible job. It's horrible.
What about that laundry right there?
And that laundry needs to be done too. And those jars need to be put away, and the canner needs to be emptied, and the kitchen needs to be clean. This is real life, y'all. So, one thing I'm going to show you not to do is this. So when I was cleaning out the freezer, I noticed we still had all of this corn from last year. I bought this locally, and I was told just throw it in the freezer, just like this, and you can thaw it, husk it, eat it, cook it. It'll be good to go. Which was true. Maybe just for a couple of months. Bought this end of summer last year, and it is like, it's not good. I cooked it a little while. I cooked it probably a month or so ago. It was like weird textured, mushy. It had a weird flavor, like would not suggest doing that. So lesson learned, it's gonna go out to the chickens. It's frozen, so they're gonna get a nice cool treat, and it'll be okay. Next year when I buy corn from them, I will make sure I either can it or freeze it in vacuum seal bags appropriately. So don't make that mistake. So I already got those out of the deep freezer, and I'm working on taking inventory of what we have, as well as cooking up some things that need to come out in order to make room for more that's going to go in from the garden. So as you already saw, the kitchen is a mess, and that's okay. I'm working on it. I had shredded a bunch of zucchini, and I've got that in the freezer now. I'm going to be using that for breads and muffins, and mainly for baking, but you can throw it in soups or stews. And I'm working on some tomatoes. Last year got extremely busy with the market, and I just threw a lot of things into the freezer because it was easier. I should have done this over the winter, but I'm doing it today because I've got to make room in that freezer. We also have another freezer, obviously, connected to the refrigerator, so I'm pulling a lot out of that as well, and yeah, this is fun. So we're gonna do some freezer organizing and cook up some tomato sauce. I don't like that we didn't get to eat that corn. Obviously that was not what I was going for, but there is comfort in knowing that when you live on a farm or a homestead, nothing gets wasted, and those chickens will eat that corn, and it goes to nourishing them, which they'll in turn turn into some eggs for us. So next up, oh, and one other thing while I'm talking about corn. A lot of people have asked when we do our garden tours, or just talking back and forth on Instagram, why we don't grow corn here. And the answer to that is because it is a bear attractant. Bears are attracted to the corn, and it seemed like once the corn was gone, then the bear was gone. So we don't want to attract bears into the garden, so I just buy corn from a local farmer right down the street, and it's a win-win. Alright, so next what I'm doing is I'm working on these tomatoes. Like I said earlier, went ahead and just froze them all. So the good thing about that, though, is that when you freeze tomatoes and then you put them into hot water, the skins peel off really easy. However, if you're going to freeze tomatoes, it's probably wise to core them first because this gets kind of hard to do when they're frozen. But I've got a bowl here for the chickens and a bowl here for the people, for the stove. Now, some people leave their skins on their tomatoes. I did last year, and what it does is it can tend to make your sauce a little more bitter. And my sauce was a little bitter, so since it's so easy to get these skins off right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and then cook them. I'm just gonna cook them down and then add some garlic and herbs from the garden, and it'll be good to go. Just a simple sauce. I'm not doing it. Last year I went crazy and added all this stuff to it, and I am not doing that this year. If I need to doctor it up later on when I cook it, I will, but for now. Okay, what I'm doing down here now, I've taken inventory of the freezer and I've organized it a little better. I've got produce, odd meat cuts, chicken, fish, organ meats, this shelf, and then I'm working now on these bottom two shelves. So I've got all of the meat sorted into different cuts, and I'm going to take inventory of what we have and put that in here. This is all beef, and this excludes ground beef. Ground beef I keep in the other freezer, and there's no venison here. Venison is in the other freezer because I didn't have room in this freezer. So that's where I am at with that, and I'm going to continue to just organize and take inventory of what I have. By writing it up here, I can now see what we've got, so when I meal plan, I can just pull from what's here, and now I have a running tally of what we actually use. Things like squash, I'm surprised we used as much as we did last year. We didn't really like it frozen, but I was able to use it in other ways, so that's encouraging. Green beans, we have not used a lot. I still have 14 frozen packs, so, and I've got green beans canned in the pantry, so green beans I'm gonna have to approach differently this year. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep taking inventory of what I've got and organize it all. So we've got chuck roast go on the shelf. In fact, I think I might move it back down. Now I can stack higher, but I gotta be careful I don't put too much weight on these racks. So I'm glad I'm doing this because I came across this chuck roast, which needs to be eaten next because this is probably a year older than the other one. So that one's gonna go on top, so I know to pull from there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chuck roasts. That's a lot of chuck roasts. Oof, I'm running out of space. There we go. And then this is an odd cut. This is oxtail, so I'm just going to put that up here with the other odd cuts. And then next we've got steaks. We've got 4 packs of T-bone steaks. You can see what we eat a lot of. Actually, chuck roasts are good to have. They're easy to cook and throw in for a roast. Let's see, 3 packs of short ribs. Alright, that is better. I now have an idea of what's in here and how much room I have going into the next season. So that freezer's done. Now I'm going to work on the freezer in the kitchen. a lot of this I'm gonna move over into the deep freezer. Trying to keep stuff that I grab and use often, so I've got like a bag of celery in there that I like to take a handful of and throw into things, as well as scallions. I'm gonna keep the venison over in this freezer as well. Oh, I found more green beans, as well as some stuff that I'm very sure has well surpassed its expiration date. So unfortunately, those are gonna have to go. This is why I'm working on keeping a freezer inventory, because things fall to the back or you forget and lose track, and it's easy to find something that's 4 years old. So it's gonna go. And then I've got just a couple of packages of okra. I found 5 more frozen packs of green beans, so I will not be freezing green beans this year, needless to say. And then some other random cuts of meat. So I'm gonna throw these back in the freezer and finish getting that organized. All right, lot more room in there now. All right, my sauce is looking good. Honestly, I'm just winging. Last year, I got really caught up on recipes, and I'm doing that this year. So, I am following a lot of the Bald Blue Book of Canning for canning recipes, but this is not going to be canned. I think I might just freeze it since it's a small batch. But it's tomatoes, I've added some salt, some pepper, basil, parsley, oregano, a lot of garlic, and some rosemary. And I'm happy to say all of it has come out of the garden, and that's pretty exciting. I also did add an onion, a small onion as well. So this has been simmering all day, about 7 hours. I'm just gonna let it go till I go to bed, and then I will run the immersion blender through it one more time so the garlic and the basil and the onion is blended in there real well, and that'll be my sauce. Oh, I did add about a tablespoon of sugar as well, because it was tasting a little bitter, and I'm glad I did that. Okay, so here's my small little grocery haul, little in-between haul. Picked up a couple more of our favorite creamer and some fruit for the kids. They were asking for some bananas and oranges. We are having pizza night at church every third Wednesday. Every third Wednesday we do like a fellowship night, and this theme is pizza and salad. So I'm gonna be making a cheeseburger pizza and a fig, kind of a specialty pizza. Which the cheeseburger is awesome. We have a little place in town that makes it. They use like a Thousand Island for the sauce, pickles, ground beef, and then cheese. I might add some onions. And then the other one is a fig spread with cheese. I'm going to put fresh basil, some pepperoni. It's awesome. And then they reduced sale some of their whole chickens, which this is kind of the middle of the road brand. It's not organic, but it's also better quality. They had these marked down to like $5 and $6 a bird, so I bought some to put in the freezer. And some freezer bags, parchment paper, and that is it on that. I also have a Thrive order that I'm going to show you. Alright, so Thrive is also here, and we got our cereal, some more of this deliciousness, which if you're not putting this on homemade pizza, you should try it. And then some bee pollen for my smoothies. I'm going to start really getting back into making smoothies every day. Some quinoa for lunches. Someone has suggested zucchini tots. I'm going to try it. I had 2 boxes of these, but they've already opened up one and started eating them. Some tortilla chips. Oh, I didn't open this, but this is tahini. I saw a really yummy recipe dressing with that. And then a big old tub of coconut oil, because you can never have enough of that. So this is my fill-in grocery haul for the month. So, freezers are ready to go, sauce is cooking. We are going to head on down to the garden. I'm sure I'm going to come back with more stuff that's going to need to be put up, but in the meantime, thank you for watching and coming along with us today. May the Lord bless and keep you. Until next time.